work on the login page. This is the final version. This is what we're trying to create from scratch. Okay, so this is the this is from zero. We're gonna go from here to here. Okay, so I'm gonna have all sorts of info for verification. Sorry, it's gonna be for the login, also for the email, all the other stuff for create accounts. We're gonna have all sorts of verification for the age, for choosing a gender. Okay, so it's gonna be very cool, and it's gonna be also 100% responsive. So when you go to the mobile view, it's gonna be responsive this way, and it change depending on the screen. Okay, and it's gonna be same way, goes right here. So this is like beautifully responsive, as I said before. Okay, so don't worry, this is gonna be a bit of a challenge, but we're gonna get through it and we're gonna make it happen. Okay, so we're gonna go back to right here. So we're gonna remove this. So this is the login page. So here we're gonna have a class name, and it's gonna be login. Okay, and inside this login we're gonna have a wrapper for the login, or a container, you can call it whatever you want. Okay, and right here we're gonna have a login wrap. Okay, this is gonna be for the login, and another div right here which is gonna be for the register. Okay, so we're gonna work now on the login, and inside this login we're gonna have a login one. Okay, and also we're gonna have a login 2. The login 1 div is gonna be for this one, so we're gonna contain the image and the text, and the login 2 is gonna contain this. Okay, so the login 1, we're gonna go back to it, and we're gonna have an image which is gonna be from the icons, and it's gonna be Facebook.svg. Everything is included, the source code, everything is gonna be with the code. So if we went back to the public folder in the icons, we have this Facebook.svg, which is the one you see right here. Okay, so we're gonna also have a span, and we're gonna have this text right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy it. I'm not bothering to write anything. Okay, so we're gonna copy it right here. Okay, and this is how it's going to look. Okay, and now we're gonna go to the login 2, and inside here we're gonna have a login 2 wrap. I always use this container because it's very important to give you a more flexibility. Okay, and inside here, as you see right here, we're gonna have a form. So this is gonna be a form that has these 2 inputs and a button, and this link, and also this link or button, whatever you want. Okay, so you can use like a normal form. Okay, but we're not gonna do this. we're gonna work with FormMake and the app, and FormMake is just a better way and a more advanced way of using form. So it's a package that's called FormMake, and we're gonna use the app also too, which is another package that's gonna help us verify the informations inside this form. So instead of using this form, we're gonna use FormMake. Okay, so we're gonna go to the front end in the console npmi, and we're gonna install FormMake and also Yap. Okay, this way. So these 2 packages that we're gonna need, we're gonna work with them. So first of all, right here, now we're not gonna have form, which is gonna have FormMake. Okay, so is gonna be FormMake. Okay, this way. So this is the form that we have, and we're gonna import it. Get it right here. So we're gonna import it manually. So it's gonna import, and we're gonna have FormMake, and it's gonna be from FormMake. Okay, and sorry, this is gonna be a string right here. Okay, and now we got FormMake. Okay, so FormMake, and I wrote it wrong, so this is the right way. So inside this form, now we're gonna initialize our form, and the way we do it is simply we're gonna have like this, and then we're gonna have FormMake, and then we're gonna return what we want, and right here we're gonna return a form, which is gonna be from FormMake. So now this is the way that we create our form, and we're gonna also import the form right here. Okay, so now we have our form right here. So simply now let's go back right here to here. See, so now inside this form we can just have another input. Okay, like this. Okay, and as you see, we're gonna have the input, so nothing changed. So this is just a different way of initialization of a form using a FormMake, and a form using a FormMake instead of form. Okay, so this is simply, you can have anything right here, you can have a button, anything you want. So we're gonna have 2, inside this form we're gonna have 2 inputs. Okay, let me see what else we have. Okay, this is we're gonna change those inputs, we're gonna have them as components, but later we're gonna control this. So now we're gonna have a button, which is the type of it is gonna be submit, and inside this is gonna be login. Okay, and this is for the form. After the form, this is everything that we need inside the form, and after this form itself, we're gonna go let's go outside the FormMake. Okay, so right here, sit inside the login 2 wrap, and we're gonna have a link. This is a link, and we're gonna have 2, and it's gonna go to forgot. Okay, so right here we're gonna have forgotten password. Okay, so this one is what we're trying to create. Okay, this one right here, it's in the three, the inputs and the button. Now creating for guest password, and this is gonna be a link. And link, we're gonna get it from the React router DOM. It's like a tag, but it's different. So let me import it first. React router DOM. When we click on this, this is what's beautiful about it, because this is when you use React or Next.js, this is like a single application, project. So when you click on an e tag, it's refresh the pages, okay, and it changes the state. But when you use a link from React router DOM, when we click on it, it doesn't change. The page doesn't refresh. It just takes you to the link that you want to go to. Okay. So yeah, it's like necessary to use in a single, if you want to have the form of a single application projects. Okay, so this is why I use this link. Okay, and after this we're gonna have this line right here, which is gonna be a splitter. So after this we're gonna have, let's call it sign, and we're gonna call it splitter. So it's just gonna be simply a line that we're gonna create using CSS. And also let me see what else we have. So we have this button right here. Okay, so after the splitter we're gonna have a button, and it's gonna have a class name. The first class name is gonna be blue button, and also we're gonna have another class which is gonna be open sign up. Okay, and its button is gonna be, let me see, it's gonna be create account. So create account. So this is like for the HTML. Also we're gonna need another thing, which is gonna be this one right here, create a page for a celebrity, brand, or a business. So we have right here. So let's go, and we're gonna go outside of this login to wrap, because this is gonna be outside of this. Okay, so make sure that you go outside of it, and we're gonna have another link. Okay, another link, and it's gonna be to the main page or whatever. So right here we're gonna have a bold tag, and we're gonna have a page. Okay, and after this we're gonna have the simple text for a celebrity. Let me just copy it. I'm not bothered to write anything, as I said. So this is what it's gonna be right here. Okay, so this is like the HTML markup. So this is gonna be 2. Okay, and now as you see, this is the HTML markup. So now we're gonna work on the CSS to make this looks the way we want. So right here we have the index, and also we have the style.css, where we're gonna write the styles. Also, to remind you, in the index.css we have these variables that we're gonna call whenever we need in the CSS, which is gonna be a lot. So whenever we want to call it, we're just gonna call a color from here, for example. Okay, so first of all we're gonna go to the top level and import the styles. So import, and then style.css, and then we're gonna open the style.css, and here we're gonna write everything. So first of all we're gonna have a login wrapper, and then we can have a background, and the background is going to be a variable. So we'll do var, and then here we define, or we call the variable by the name, which is going to be bg secondary. And as you see, it's going to change right here. And if we go back to the index, this is the bg secondary, and this is the color related to it. So it's quite simple and easy to use. Okay, and then we're going to go to the login wrap, and then the height is going to be 78 vertical height, and as you see, it's gonna take 78 percent from the full height of the screen. Okay, so after this we're gonna have the margin, not the margin, we have a color. So we're gonna define a color, and it's gonna be also a variable, which is gonna be color primary. Okay, and that will define the color. So it's the same now, but we're going to use it because when the dark mode, we're going to change the primary color to the white. So when it's dark mode, you're going to see it. Okay, that's why we're using variables. Okay, and also we're going to go to the login one, and then we're going to have a width to be 300 pixels. Maybe I've done this wrong. So like this, and with 300 pixels. And as you see, now I want to make it in the center. So simply margin 0 and then auto, and then it's going to be on the center. Okay. And after this, we're gonna select the span, which is this one that has the text. So login 1, and then we're gonna select the span inside it, and here we're gonna make the font size to be 20 pixels. Okay, and then we're gonna change it this way simply. We're gonna go to the login tool, and just simply text align to make the text align on the center. Let me just add a dot right here, and as you see, it's changed it to the center. Also, now we're gonna go to the login to wrap. So login to wrap. And right here we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Okay, so let me check the other screen. So we have display flex, and we're gonna have the flex direction to be column, to be column. Also the align items, okay, that's here, the align item is going to be centered to make everything centered, and the gap between the elements is going to be 1 rem. So this is how this spaced out. Also the background is going to be a variable, which is going to be bg primary, which is white, okay, and it's going to change white as you see. Also the box shadow, so we're going to define a box shadow, and it's going to be 0, then 1 pixel, 2 pixels, and then we're going to have a variable which is going to be shadow 1, okay. You see it has this shadow, and the shadow is defined right here, okay, with the RGBE. So now after the box shadow, let's see what else we have. We have a padding 1 rem, okay, so they give it space from inside, and also we're gonna have padding bottom to be 2 rem, okay. So also we're gonna have a width to be 350 pixels, okay. And also we're gonna make this on the center. So before that, we're gonna make the height to be fit content. So we're gonna take the height of the elements, okay, and then margin 0, and then auto to center it this way, okay. And then we'll have a border radius, and it's gonna be 10 pixels to change the sides, okay, and just make them round a little bit as you see right here. And also we're gonna have margin top to be 1 rem. You can do like the margin and the padding in the same line, but I do it this way. You can do it like, for example, we have margin top and also have margin bottom the same, so like we can just go margin, and it's gonna be 1 rem from the top and the bottom, and from the right and left is gonna be 0, okay. And we do this, okay, and this, let me see if this is right. This is right. I don't know why it's not in the middle. Let's try the other way. So if we have margin top 1 rem, and then margin bottom 1 rem, okay, that would create a problem because probably we have other margin, okay, yeah, because we have a margin right here, okay, to be 0 right here, and auto, we have auto. So if you want to use this, you just simply have to remove this and go back here and just have 1 rem, okay. So the margin is going to be 1 rem from top and bottom, and the auto is going to be make it centered from the right and left, and now we're going to have the same thing. So when I wrote the first time, I didn't notice because, you know, there are a lot of CSS, so you might not notice that, but that's probably just normal, you know, while you're coding, so don't worry about it. Now we're going to go and select the button inside this. So log in to wrap, and then we're going to select the button. And inside this, let's see, the button is going to be width 100%. Also justify content center, I'm going to have this for later. Also going to have the height to be 50 pixels. Okay, let me see what else. Font size is going to be 17 pixels, and the font weight is going to be 700. And also the user select to be none. User select just doesn't allow you to select like this, okay. So you can use it in the whole like login to wrap, okay. So now you can't select, okay, and I think this is good, okay. So after this, let me see what else we have, okay. So we have like a blue button that we defined before, like this. Let's see right here, we have this blue button. Where is it? So I don't know, what is it? So this is like blue button right here, okay. So this is we have another one, I think. So let me search for it. We only have one, okay. This button also that have type submit. Let's add a class name, which is gonna be blue button, okay. And also right here, this link have a class name, which is gonna be sign extra, for example, okay. So now we can control this blue button, and this is going to be a public variable for the buttons. So we can go right here, and when we have, let's call this buttons, we're going to have many of them, you know, just presets for the buttons that's going to be used across all the application, and it's going to be used repeatedly, okay. So we're going to have them right here. So dot blue button, and right here let's define this. So the border is going to be none. Okay, we don't want no border, as you see it's been removed. Also we want no outline, so outline to be none, okay. So now we're gonna have a padding 8.5 pixels. That's gonna be from top and bottom, and 12 pixels from right and left, okay, this way. And then we're gonna have a border radius 7 pixels, okay. Let me see what else. Font family to be inherit. So we take the parent font family, and as you see, it's going to change. One thing also, if you're bored with the CSS, you can just copy them from the thing for the attachments of the course. If I know it's boring, but I gotta go through it and explain some things. Okay, so the font width is going to be 600. The font size is going to be, let's see, 14 pixels. And also we're going to have the color to be white like this. We're not going to use variable for this. Okay, and then display flex, and also we're going to have align item center to center everything, and we use justify center and align item center to make sure that everything inside this is in the bottom in the center exactly. Okay, and then we're going to have a gap of 6 pixels. It's not important for this example, but it's going to be when we have two elements inside the div and the cursor is going to be pointer. Okay, one last thing that we need is the background. We can have it like right here, and it's going to be var, and it's going to be, you can define like blue. We have it up in the variables, so blue color, we have it right here. Where is it? This is the blue color, and as you see now we have these. Okay, and we're gonna change it, but for now this is what we have. Okay, we're gonna go back now to the style.css and let's continue. So let's work on the forgot password first. So not forget password, and right here we're gonna have the color to be a variable, which is gonna be the blue color. Okay, so blue color, and it's gonna change. Forgot, it didn't change, so this is probably doesn't have the class name or the right class name. So this is a class name is gonna be forgot password. Okay, and now it's been applicable. And after the color, also want the font size to be 14 pixels, and also we're gonna have the cursor to be pointer. And now when we hover on it, we want to have a line in the bottom, so the underline. So we're going to do this text decoration. So this is on the hover stage when we hover on it, so the text decoration is going to be underline. Okay, and we have the underline as you see right here. Okay, so we have this right here, we have this splitter as you see right here. This is a splitter, as you see. We're going to create it with the CSS. This is the div for it. Where is it? The sign splitter. We're going to take that, and now let's size it. So it's going to be a width of 100%. So it's going to take the whole width of the elements parent. So, and then the height is just going to be 1 pixel. And as you see, we're going to define the background, which is going to be, let me see right here, it's going to be var, and then it's going to be bg third. Okay, and as you see right here, we have it. And this button right here, we add another class to it, which is one was open sign up. Okay, so now we're going to change the background, and it's going to be green. Okay, so it's going to be green color, I believe. Okay, and now it's changed to more of what we have in the final version. Okay, so let's do other things. So we don't want it to take the full width, so it's going to be width 70%. Okay, and if it didn't change, you just can add importance. Okay, because this div has another class which was the blue button, and as you see, the blue button has the width of 100%, I think. Where is it? Or by default we define the button right here. Okay, we define the buttons to be 100%. Okay, so we gotta change that by using the importance. That means it's gonna take this style over the other one right here. Okay, so let me see what else we have. The font weight is gonna be 600, and also add importance. Okay, to change. Okay, to change, and also we're gonna have, let me see what else, the font size, which is gonna be 17 pixels. And if it changed, that's all right. If it didn't, add importance to it. Okay, to make sure. And then we have the margin tab, which is going to be 1 rem. Okay, and as you see, it gives us this space. And also we're going to work on this. So this is the extra, we call this what? Extra something, sign extra. Okay, and this sign extra, just the font size to be, let's see, 15 pixels. Okay, and now we have it. Okay, we're gonna work after this is now done. As you see, it's the same one right here. Now we're gonna work on those, and as I said, this is gonna be components, so that's why it's gonna be a lot of CSS to them. So now we finished